Hello, critical thinkers. Hope all is well. This video is about the aftermath of the New York State Docks Correctional Officer strike. There's a saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. This is an example of that. Stay tuned. Today's article is by J.B. Nicholas and the Freelance. Governor Kathy Hochul, lawmakers agreed to close 5 prisons. 2,000 fired guards face stark futures. Governor Kathy Hochul explains move. I'm down 4,000 guards. I need to consolidate now. March 12, 2025. The 2,000 state prison guards fired by Governor Kathy Hochul for waging a 22-day long strike are waking up to stark futures. The governor also banned all of them from ever working for New York again, per an executive order signed on Monday. Just one important thing to note is that these correctional officers who have been fired cannot work for the state of New York. For a lot of these individuals, a lot of these correctional officers, the state of New York is the biggest employer in their town. So their future doesn't look very bright right now if they're even considering state employment. Back to the article. It was a double blow for guards from rural areas, where other state jobs are one of the few remaining kinds of good paying work available. Democratic Assembly member Billy Jones, who represents a rural area in the Adirondacks with multiple prisons, blasted the move as vindictive. Steve McLaughlin, the Rensselaer County executive, called it ridiculous and vowed not to enforce it. Not counting the military and U.S. Postal Service, it is among the largest mass firing of public employees. Since then, President Ronald Reagan fired 11,000 air traffic controllers in 1991. While the harsh news was sinking in, dozens of guards received letters from the state officially informing them that they were fired. About 300, some with family and friends in tow, were in court in Buffalo to answer a judge's demand they appear or be arrested. In court, a lawyer from State Attorney General Letitia James's office said they would not ask the court to jail any of the alleged strikers. They might, however, ask for a collective fine of 77 million split between all of the estimated 7,500 plus strikers. Pause for a second. So finally, we're seeing some consequences for these correctional officers who engage in this illegal wildcat strike. They lost their jobs. They've been fired for not going back to work, and now they face uh, they face a fine. Back to the article. For the 2,000 fired guards, it was a dark day. Blake North, a sergeant at the Altona Correctional Facility, openly contemplated suicide in a Facebook video. The 20-year-old veteran intended it as a public service message to encourage others with dark thoughts to talk openly about them. Those of you thinking about it, don't say you are thinking about it. I know you fuckers, North said. I've lost a few of you, and mostly this job is what let them do it. Pause for a second. There is one thing that I will say is that correctional officers face a higher rate of suicide. I believe it's higher than police officers. Obviously, a correctional officer is a very stressful job. Back to the article. 268 officers and sergeants were fired at the upstate correctional facility about an hour west of Altona, outside the town of Malone. It was two-thirds of the total force at the maximum security disciplinary prison. Amaya Correa, a vocal supporter of the strike and a wife of a sergeant, said, upstate strikers vowed battle to the very end in the name of a prison nurse who lost an unborn child after she was exposed to a suspected synthetic drug at work. A spokesperson for the state agency that operates New York prisons The Department of Corrections and Community Supervision would not confirm how many guards and sergeants were fired at upstate. As announced by Commissioner Monticello on a briefing Monday evening, approximately 2,000 correctional officers and sergeants have been terminated, DOC spokesperson Thomas Maley said. For security reasons, we are not giving specific numbers by facility. Devin Hooper was one of the guards fired at upstate. His family was holding up the best they can, Hooper said on Tuesday, especially with cutting the health insurance and everything else they've done to hurt us. Andrea Dumas is Malone's mayor. Her 30-year-old daughter, Morgan, was among the guards from upstate fired. Quote, why didn't Albany listen? Why is safety so hard for them to understand? Mayor Dumas said on Tuesday, firing 2,000 correction officers fighting for essential safety reforms exposes Albany's dangerous indifference to human lives. I'm going to pause that for a quick second. This strike is truly not about safety. People want to talk about the strike is about safety. For me, it's not. It's really about the ability to not to wear body worn cameras, to be able to continue the abuses without facing any consequences and not having the world to see the abuse on camera. Back to the article. The mayor explained the mass firings were devastating local businesses. She added families would be crushed under unpaid bills. Savings are gone. The financial devastation intensifies daily while Albany continues to ignore the crisis they created. Meanwhile, in Albany, Governor Kathy Hochul met with state lawmakers and secured a handshake deal for a new law allowing her to close 5 prisons next fiscal year, beginning April 1st. Tom Etchen reported for CBS News 6. The deal was not in Governor Hochul's original budget proposal to the legislature, Etchen reported. She added it after the strike started February 17th. Governor Hochul defended the mass firings and her plan to close 5 prisons in a news conference on Tuesday. I'm down 4,000 guards, she said. I need to consolidate now so I can manage the prisoner population with the fewer people that I have that are doing it. I'm down 4,000 people. When asked whether the firings were too harsh, she didn't answer no. She basically said, hell no. So Kathy Hochul pretty much went gangsta on all you correctional officers, um, not feeling bad about the terminations, saying hell no. She doesn't feel that is harsh. These correction officers striked for a long period of time. They put the safety of their fellow correctional officers who did not strike back in those facilities at risk. They also put the safety of incarcerated individuals at risk as well. So no, I don't feel too harsh about the terminations. They had numerous opportunities to go back to work and they refused to go back to work. Individuals walked off their jobs and left the incarcerated population alone, Governor Hochul explained. That created a dangerous situation. That was basically what I was saying before. It was also widely expensive for taxpayers, approaching $100 million. There are consequences when people break the law, Governor Kathy Hochul concluded. And that means you're not working in our state workforce ever. The move conflicts with New York's official criminal justice policy, which gives second chances in employment to ex felons. Back inside New York's prisons, the fired guard said it was worse than ever. Former Auburn Correctional Facility Sergeant Dennis F. Rasbach, who turned himself into a social media influence during the strike, said, they're hell inside right now. Nobody's good right now. Nobody's good. North, the firing guard talking about suicide, said New York was so short staffed now, there was a real risk of inmates revolting and taking over a prison. Quote, it's going to be worse than ever. They're going to lose one of those jails. That is the end of the article. Ultimately, this is the epitome of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The fact that there are correction officers who are claiming they are shocked, this is such a horrible thing that this occurred. It's BS. It's bullshit, to be honest with you. Those officers had numerous opportunities to go back to work and stop the illegal strike. Ultimately, there are consequences. There are consequences for your actions. The same way there are consequences for incarcerated individuals who commit crimes, who get sentenced, who want to do their time. There are consequences for correctional officers. So I'm tired of the boohoo, whining, crying. It's not appropriate. This video was an early access member only video. For those members, thank you for being a member. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the financial support for the channel. For others seeing after the 3-day access, please consider becoming a member so you have early access to my videos. If you found value in the video, like the video, share the video, comment in the video. I love to read your comments and I do respond to most of them. Share the video. And if I brought value, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. My goal is to give you honest and direct feedback and go deeper than what the mainstream media is telling you. Take care, God bless, and see you next time.